took a day trip to Venice over the weekend, a city that's full of water, nature, everyday life, gondolas, history, and of course, some of the best food and desserts you'll ever find. When you get hungry, there's plenty of food and snacks to choose from. We were on the hunt for something in particular, Gianduiotti from Nico's Gelateria in Venice, located by the waterfront. Although Gianduiotto traditionally comes from Turin, up in the Piemonte region of Italy, Nico's take on it was absolutely delicious. It's a light rectangular solid block of Gianduia gelato, hazelnuts inside, served in a glass surrounded by fresh whipped cream. I loved it so much that when I got home I knew I had to recreate those flavours in my own way. So today we're making Gianduiotto baked cheesecake, starting with the biscuit crumb. Usually I use Biscoff biscuits, however in this case I use digestive variety. It's easier to crush these in a food processor, however you can also do it by hand. I started off with crushing these with the end of a rolling pin, however I found to use the back of a ladle much quicker. We want the crumbs to be a sand-like texture before we add in our butter. Measure out your butter and place it in a small saucepan over a low heat or in the microwave until it's just melted. Moving on to the cheesecake filling. This can also be done in a stand mixer or by hand. Add in your eggs, sugar, and whisk these until they're pale, light and fluffy. We're looking to reach ribbon consistency. Once pale and light, we can begin to add in our cheeses. Philadelphia cream cheese and mascarpone. We want to mix these in until there's no lumps and it's a smooth, homogeneous mixture. Just making sure to keep the air inside. There is no gluten in this mixture, so you can't really overmix. We're going to add a little sugar to our biscuit crumb base before we add in our butter. The consistency we're looking for is similar to wet sand. At this stage it was coming together but not enough. I added a little bit more butter to bring it together. I'm using a cake ring instead of a springform pan. I created the base with some alfoil and parchment paper. Once you've firmly packed in your biscuit base, you can add the cheesecake mixture on top. Make sure to flatten and even it out so there's no bubbles. Bake this in a 180-degree oven for 40 minutes. Next, we need to roast our hazelnuts. You can roast them in the oven after you take the cheesecake out or on the stovetop. Just try get them to a nice dark roasted colour. Once these have cooled down, we can chop them up. Next, we're whipping our cream. Whip your cream to soft peaks. To make the Gianduia ganache, we're using Nutella and a little bit of milk. Heat this up on a low heat. Continue mixing so the milk and the Nutella come together to form a shiny ganache. We'd want this to be pouring consistency. This is a great cheesecake to be served at a dinner party. Pour over your Nutella ganache until it fills the bottom of the plate. Pipe over your whipped cream, sprinkle over your roasted hazelnuts, and dust with a little cocoa powder if you want. Thanks for watching and enjoy.